Welcome back, Meatless Dish family. Today we're going to be making New York pizzeria style pizza at home that tastes delicious and is made with better ingredients than your average pizza pie. If you're new here, I lost over 60 pounds in 2019 and kept it off cleaning up what I eat without sacrificing taste. And while I don't eat this every day, this is what I make when it's time for some pizza. If you love pizza, let's make some good. This is everything you're going to need to make this pizza. It's mostly organic, but feel free to substitute as you see fit. The ingredients and measurements will also be listed in the description. Let's start with the dough. 2 cups organic unbleached bread flour. I've made this with all-purpose whole wheat and even spelt flour to make it healthier. They're all really good, but this way just gives the more classic taste. 3/4 teaspoon pink Himalayan sea salt. 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. In a separate bowl, prepare a ½ cup of distilled water or spring. Add 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast to the water and a drop of honey to help activate it. Stir and add it to the flour in the main bowl. Keep an additional 1/4 cup of water on the side and slowly add it while mixing the dough. In total, this recipe uses 3/4 cup of water. Before I get my hands in there, I like to mix it up. I don't know why I use a large fork, but I do. Get the fork out of here. Get your hands in there, add some water from your bowl, and keep working the dough. This is going to take a few minutes and a little might. I like to get it where the dough is somewhat sticky and then work it until the stickiness goes away. Put a little olive oil in the bowl, spread it with the dough, and get some on the sides of the dough to prevent sticking when it rises. Pop on that top. Let it rise for a minimum 1 hour. For best results, put it in the fridge after the hour and let it sit overnight for a better tasting and easier to work with dough. Once your dough is ready to go, let's grate some cheese. For this recipe, I'm using 8 ounces of low moisture, whole milk mozzarella. This melts and tastes the best for pizza in my opinion. I've also tried this with organic part skim, and it works good if you're looking to clean this up a bit more. I always grate my own cheese because the pre-grated stuff has chemicals that keep the cheese from sticking together. Always check your labels so you know what you're putting in your body. For this recipe, I'm cooking my pizza on a pizza steel. This gives the best texture and cooks the crust better because it holds the heat and transfers it directly to the crust. If using a pizza steel, it's best to preheat the oven for about an hour. If you don't have a pizza steel, no need to worry. You can either use a pizza pan or a baking sheet to make rectangular pizzas. It all still tastes great. You can see in this shot of my pan pizza, it's always good. It gets similar results with the baking sheet as well. Preheat the oven to 450. Now generously flour your surface. This is particularly important if using a pizza peel because the pizza has to slide off easily into the oven, so we have to do a few passes since the oil on the dough will soak up the flour while forming it. Once the dough on the bottom is dry from the flour, I'll add a nice dusting of semolina flour to help it slide onto the steel. I try to flatten the dough evenly and stretch it to the size of my pizza peel, being careful not to stretch any thin parts that will tear. If you do tear it, you can pinch it back together. Now we'll add about a ½ cup of organic marinara and spread it on the dough. I like a minimal amount of sauce because too much will make the cheese slide off. Just a little tip. This is actually a bit saucier than I would normally make it, so I would adjust and say maybe a 1/4 cup of sauce here. Now for the fun part. Let's add the cheese. Now generously sprinkle oregano over the whole thing. Put it in the oven for 8 to 12 minutes. I like to pull it out when the cheese starts to get a nice brown charring. I also like to rotate the pizza halfway through to help it cook more evenly. And there you have it. New York pizzeria style pizza that's clean and tastes delicious. Let's take this moment to appreciate what we just created. Thanks for watching.